Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got one of my favorite drones. They're all my favorite drone, who am I kidding? But I've got the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and I want to do something a little bit, this is going to be a little bit different format than you normally see in my videos. Normally when I do a video, you see from takeoff to landing, the whole thing, but what I want to explore today is the time-lapse and hyperlapse capabilities of not just the Mini 4 Pro. A lot of these same things apply to whether you have a Mini 3 Pro or an Air 3 or an Air 3S or an Air 2S or even a Mavic 3 Pro. It's all very similar in the app. But I want to look at time-lapse and hyperlapse. So we're going to go through all the different versions of time-lapse and hyperlapse that you can do. Now this is going to take me probably a few days to do this because I want to go to some different locations to try the different shots, and it's going to require multiple batteries being recharged, because if you do a time-lapse of any length, the drone is hovering for quite a long time, and so you can use a whole battery just for one. But enough of those kind of details. You're not going to see any takeoffs and landings, any of that stuff like I usually do. I am just going to show you the different types of time-lapse and hyperlapse. Enough jibber jabber. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, I've got the drone placed over a relatively busy intersection here. What you want when you're doing a time-lapse, of course, is you need movement. And cars moving are always a good subject. Things like cars, clouds, etc. Any place where you have movement. There's no point in doing a time-lapse when you don't have movement. So in any case, let's go ahead and go into the menu here and see if we can get something going. So I'm going to stop recording, and we are going to click on that little film strip looking icon right over the record button, and we're going to go down to hyperlapse. See it right down there just below quick shots, and I see it changed our screen, and there's free. And free is where you can move the drone around however you want. And in this case, we're just going to leave the drone still. So it would essentially be a time lapse. You could fly the drone in free mode, but I'll tell you, to be able to have it turn out decently while you're trying to fly the drone and it's taking pictures every second or so, I don't think that works very well. But anyway, let's get rid of this. You can see it's giving us a little bit of instruction there in a dialog box. Let's get rid of that. But if you look down below, you'll see where it's the 125 next to 411. Well, 411 is how many minutes it would take for it to get 125 shots. But let's click on that down arrow. So yeah, click here. Yeah, and it's giving us a tutorial, which we are not interested in. So here we have the intervals. So yeah, you can set the length of what you want the finished product to be in the middle there. In this case, let's go pretty long. Let's crank this guy up. Yeah, battery level may not be enough. So I don't know. Let's go down to 20 seconds. And it looks like that says that's good enough. Click that check box. 2-second interval, I think that's the quickest, yeah. So 2-second interval, so it'll take a picture every 2 seconds. Now, the speed is how fast you can fly the drone during that time. We're not gonna fly the drone, we're just gonna leave it sitting here. So let's go ahead and start right now. And you'll see the drone, it's gonna take 500 pictures there. If you look in the middle of that dialog box, it's on 4 or 500. And then right next to it, to the left of it, that's the counter. That's how long it's going to take to do that. And just to make you feel better, if you look at that 16-minute time that it's going to take to take these pictures. If you look at the top by our battery meter, that tells us how many seconds of flight, or minutes of flight time we have, minutes and seconds. So, so we're in good shape there. So we're just gonna let this guy do its thing, and I'll be back with you when we get closer to the end of it, shooting the hyperlapse here. Hey, okay, we're halfway through. We just crossed 250 of 500 shots, and you'll see if you look up at our battery meter, we're at 50% battery, so the drone is up there hovering for a long time. We've got another 8 minutes to go. We'll see you at the end. Okay, we're getting down to it. We've got about 24 shots yet to go, 45 seconds or so. I just noticed something on the menu that I've not seen before. Look there at the bottom, it's saying 19 out of 20 seconds. Right to the right of that is something that says +1 second. I think we can extend the time. So I'm gonna click that +1. Yeah, and it won't let me do it. It says battery level too low to increase duration. However, you can increase the duration of your hyperlapse just by hitting that button by 1 second at a time. Good to know. So we are almost done here. 3 more shots, and you're gonna see the
battery level is low.
Yeah, and it wants to return to home.
Will return to the home point in
But it's creating the video. It's putting together the shot right now. Yeah, and we're just going to let it return to home. We hit that one right on the money, didn't we? We had enough battery for a 20-second shot, and so it's coming right along the edge of the field and coming back in. Okay, let me put another battery in the drone. Let me land it here, put another battery in the drone, and we'll try another one. Okay, you're going to hear a lawnmower in the background. I'm at the park right across from this shopping center. But what we're going to do this time is I'm going to try a free hyperlapse again, and we're going to keep track of one of the busiest hamburger joints around, and that is In-N-Out. And I'm going to try and do it free. In other words, I'm going to be moving the drone myself while it's taking the hyperlapse. Now I haven't got as much battery, so this one's going to be much shorter, and you know what, it doesn't need to be as long. Yeah, let's go ahead and stop recording. I'm going to switch into the hyperlapse mode there. And you see it switch, and we're on free again. So I am going to go, let's see if we can get down into the menu one more time. Let's go more than 5 seconds. Let's go, let's see if we can do a 10-second hyperlapse. So that's going to mean that I'm going to have to fly the drone for 8 minutes here. But anyway, we'll set that up, and you can see the speed, we've got it set very low at 0.5 meters per second. Let's see, I can go lower than that. So I'm going to go, heck, I'm going to go really slow. I set it at 2 meters per second. So the drone is going to be barely moving. So let's click on that, and our interval, we know 2 seconds is the bottom. So let's go ahead and start shooting right now. And so what I'm going to try and do is I'm staying over the top of this building here, and I'm going to try and keep that In-N-Out drive-in in the center of frame. And I'm telling you, I can barely see any movement with the drone here as I'm trying to move it. So I may have set that speed too slow. I really wanted it to be slow, and I'm thinking I set it way too slow here. So knowing that, tell you what, I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop this one right now. And it's gonna create that and put it together. So learn by my mistake there. Let's go back into the menu here.
Video created successfully.
Yeah, so it created the video. But let's go ahead and move that speed up. In fact, let's go to 1 meter per second. So that's a lesson I learned just then, is it's not going to do much. 10 seconds, let's reduce that down now because we used up some battery. Let's just do let's see if we can do a 6-second hyperlapse here. So let's start, and again, this is in free mode, so I'll be flying the drone as we go. And yeah, I can start to see some movement with the drone. And I'm trying to keep the in and out in center of frame. So 1 meter per second was about right. But again, you need to understand that I am gonna have to hold these sticks the whole time, as opposed to one of the more automated modes. And we got about 4 minutes left to go here. So I'm not gonna make you sit through the whole thing, but yeah, see you on the other side. Okay, so because I want the drone over this top of this building while we're doing this hyperlapse, I'm having to move back the other way. So I'm reversing my sticks and moving the other way, and we're about roughly a third of the way through. Okay, we've got less than a minute to go here, and yeah, so I just kind of moved the drone back and forth, tried to keep the restaurant in the center of frame, and I'm anxious to see how the time lapse turns out, because I'm sure it's going to be a little bit jiggly. So you know, that's free form, and you know, I don't.
Timelapse is ready to complete.
Yeah, it's almost done. I don't know that this is one that I would choose very often. I think putting it in the cruise control version or the Waypoint version, and then, you know, the drone is doing its own thing, and I think a lot steadier hand than I am. But we did learn one thing to keep the speed. You know, I chose 1 meter per second, and that seemed like it was about right. Maybe a little bit less might have been better. There, we're done. So it's creating the video, and we have 44% battery. That's not really enough for us to do another hyperlapse. But I will also say this.
Video created successfully.
And so there you can see that it created a video. And so I will show that to you right now. Okay, you saw that hyperlapse. We played it through a couple of times, so you guys will have seen how it looks before me. But again, I want you to look there at the bottom. That speed one is more important than I thought when you're doing a free hyperlapse. I've never done a free hyperlapse before, so you saw my first effort at that. So I'm out of battery now. Let me land the drone, and tomorrow or the next day, we'll move on to, well, let's go look in the menu here. We'll move on to a circle hyperlapse, which that's interesting. And the drone would move in a circle, so whatever is in your center of frame is where the movement would be. And then course lock, that's what I was talking about, cruise control. Course lock, you set the course of the drone, and you can set a steady speed and set it to do a hyperlapse. That one is pretty handy. And then I think my favorite is the one there at the bottom. That is a Waypoint hyperlapse, and you can set the drone. Typically, I think what works best is you want to keep a point of interest. If you have it move either in a straight line or in a semicircle, seems to work pretty good. Okay, we'll see you when we get to that next hyperlapse. Hey, okay, it's the next day. I told you that this was going to take a few days to put this video together. I have the Air 3S today. I know I started out with the Mini 4 Pro, but I wanted to show you that really this is the same throughout all of DJI's latest drones, whether it's the Mavic 3, the Mavic 3 Pro, the Air 3, the Air 3S, the Air 2S, the Mini 3 Pro, the Mini 4 Pro. I think even the Air 2 had the same, but don't quote me on that one. Regardless, the next thing in line to do is a circle hyperlapse. So let's go up. I have some ideas on where we're getting. The thing is, you got to do it where you got some movement. The only time a hyperlapse does you any good is when you have some movement on the ground. So I got a couple ideas, and we're going to try them out here. Okay, so it looks like we've got some stuff going on in the community garden here. I think we can do an orbit around that, and we can see a little movement down there, or at least that's my hope. So, so let's stop recording now. And we're going to go, again, click on that film strip. We're going to go scroll down to hyperlapse, and the next one is circle. Shoot the aircraft will automatically shoot and create a hyperlapse video, it says. Well, that's what it told us before. So let's get out of that. Let's click circle. And so you do have to select a point of interest. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move forward just a little bit, and you'll see a van there in the center of screen. I'm going to pick that. Well, maybe. There we go, it got that. And so now we have to select our parameters here. So we're gonna go, according to this, counterclockwise, and we should be able to pick clockwise or counterclockwise. And it's giving us, oh yeah, I've got this one set in miles per hour. So let's speed it up just a little. I have a feeling that we're gonna wanna go about 2 miles an hour. We're gonna try that and see. And then, so we click that check, we got that set. We've got counterclockwise set. We could select clockwise if we wanted. Length, let's do a, I don't know, let's do a 15-second. That might be kind of fast, actually. So let's start with a 10-second, and let's see how that works out. And if we like that, maybe we can try another one. Let's go ahead and start. And yeah, so it is doing a perfect circle. It is, so it took it a while to set up, and now it's started shooting, and it's moving around. So truthfully, when I see how it's moving here, I might have been able to pick a little bit faster shooting speed. But there's not a lot of activity down there, but there is some. There's people working in the garden, and you notice we're off to the side, so we're not flying over the top of anybody or anything here. And yeah, so let's just let this go. This is going to take, well, now we're about almost 8 minutes here, so let's let it run, and I'll see you on the other side. Well, I think that speed we chose turned out quite well. It got us just a little bit over a full rotation, so so I think that worked out just fine. We've got still 62% battery. I think we should try another one, and as soon as this completes, I'll show you what we got here. I think this one's going to look pretty good, although I haven't seen it yet, and you guys have. Creating video. Now let's show it to you. Okay, so I've got another idea here that we can do. Let's get rid of that point of interest, and I'm going to go up a little bit higher and move forward, and let's just see if we can get kind of a bigger picture circular hyperlapse. So we got 59% battery. I'm probably going to have to speed it up some here. Let's see. You know, maybe I should even change the battery, but let's just give this a shot here. So let's see if we can kind of get the whole of the senior center here, and we need to draw a point of interest. I am going to do that right in the center of the parking lot there, and we got that, and we're going to switch to clockwise, and we're going to speed it up this time though, because it's gonna be, I think, doing a much a bigger circle. So 6.7 miles an hour. And listen, I'm experimenting here, so we'll see how this goes. We got 57% battery. Let's click that check mark there. 10 seconds. Are we going to have enough battery? We're going to find out. Let's go ahead and start. And it's setting itself up and starting to take a picture. So again, we're about 200 feet in the air, and it's moving a lot faster this time. So I'll be interested to see it. Typically, it will tell you if it doesn't think you have enough battery power to complete a hyperlapse. It's going to tell you. So so this is perfect. Yeah, this is pretty cool here, and it's moving a lot faster. Though, although honestly, I'm not seeing a lot of movement down there. A couple cars coming in and out, so it might not. This might not have enough movement in this video to really show you much. Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is. We'll let this run, and it's got about 7.5 minutes to go. I'll see you on the other side. So we're down to under 30 seconds here till it completes. I'm saying that this might not have been the best choice for a hyperlapse. Obviously, there was not a lot of movement in this video, but there is some. And it showed you, I was able to show you how that circle hyperlapse works. So the speed-wise, I'm going to be interested to see how this worked, because we obviously had it going at a higher rate of speed. It's putting the video together now. So as soon as it's done completing, and it's finished,
Created successfully.
I'm going to show you that video right now. Okay, so you've seen that video. You guys will have seen it before I did, but you kind of get the hang of how that circular hyperlapse works. I think it's going to be something that's handy in certain situations. We're down to 28% battery, so let's bring this guy home here. Hit return to home. And I suspect we will get a precision landing here, would be my guess. It's always fun. I always throw these in my videos here. This drone in particular, the DJI Air 3S, is particularly accurate. So let's see how well it does here. I'm sitting in the shade under a tree at a picnic table. Let's see if it hits that, if it recognizes the landing pad and hits the pad. And yeah, it's going to be, you know, it's looking around a little bit. It says, no, I don't want to hit that tree, but look at that. If we look at the drone shadow there, yeah, it's going to hit that pad right on, isn't it? That's pretty cool. So I think we're going to get in the center of the pad here. When it picks up the camera like that, then you know it is in landing mode. Hey, okay, so now you saw a circle hyperlapse. The next one in line is a CourseLock hyperlapse. It's one of the most useful ones. That's where you're going to set the drone on a course, and it will just stay on a specific course at a specific speed while it does the hyperlapse. So that was pretty cool. I got an idea of where I could show you a little bit more movement than I showed you on the senior center hyperlapse. So yeah, let's get this drone up in the air and see what we can do. Okay, so you can see that I've got the drone, I've got the camera pointed straight down, and I've got it placed above the greenbelt area next to a pretty busy street here. So I'm gonna pick the camera up and show you the street. What I wanna do is, and in fact, it probably would look better if I'm a little bit higher up. So let's move higher. Let's go up about, yeah, there we go. We're about 340 feet there. So, I've adjusted the camera where it's kind of at the center of the road. So I'm going to see how accurate I can do a course lock. We're going to move the drone sideways while we're doing our hyperlapse. So let's stop recording, and I'm going to go click on that film strip again, and we're going to go down into hyperlapse. And the next one you see there is course lock. So in order to set the lock, I have to, you see that lock that's unlocked there at the bottom of the screen in the center? We have to touch that to lock it. So I'm going to move it the direction I want it to go and then hit that lock. Okay, so we got that. You can see that lock is lit up and I showed it the direction I want to go. So now well, the speed is set at 1.1 miles an hour. I'm going to leave that there. I think that's perfect. Length, let's crank this guy up. We got a lot of battery here. Let's do a 20-second one. And again, 2-second interval. That's as quick of an interval as you can pick. That's the one I usually do. I suppose I should experiment around sometime and try some of those other intervals. But in any case, let's start this. And we should see the drone move sideways here as it takes a picture. Now it's moving forward, so I'm going to stop that. I thought I could get the drone to move sideways. So yeah, I'm not going to show you that one. So we're going to have to change our plans here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the, so evidently course lock will only move forward. I was hoping that it would that I could move sideways with it. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to pick the camera up and look more forward here and adjust the vector just a little bit. I'm going to move a little bit sideways here. So we're going to set that course lock again, and we're going to start over. And let's see how this looked. I thought I could set a course lock with the drone moving sideways, but evidently you cannot. I mean, obviously it didn't work that time. So again, going at 1.1 miles an hour, let's see how far the drone goes here, how far we travel, and it's going to take 500 pictures. And of course, as soon as I start it, there's no traffic on the road. Well, here it comes a little bit. So, okie dokie, yeah, we'll see on the other side on this one too. This ought to turn out pretty cool. Okay, we are almost complete here, 45 seconds to go, just a few more pictures. I'm gonna click on that add 1 second and see if it'll add a second to our hyperlapse, and it did. And you can see that it also changed the timer. So we had enough battery this time in order to enable that. So yeah, it turned this into, from a 20-second into a 21-second hyperlapse. So just good to know that that functionality is there and that it works. This worked out pretty good, and this thing is going to end, I think, just in time, where it's still on the margin there by the sidewalk. So yeah, I thought this worked out quite well. So 525 pictures, another 45 seconds to go. And when it gets down to 30 seconds, it should call out to us and tell us that the hyperlapse is almost complete. Let's see if it does that.
HyperLapse is ready to complete.
And look at that, hyperlapse is ready to complete. So this one's going to be pretty interesting. I think this one should turn out quite well. So about 15 seconds to go. A total of 525 pictures. that it had to take to do a 21-second hyperlapse. So last picture, and now it's going to create the video. And again, as soon as it's done creating the video, I'm going to show it to you. In fact, I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, I hit return to home, and the drone is on its way back here. And all we have left is the Waypoint hyperlapse, and I got some ideas for that one too, just to show you some of the different things it can do. It's the most versatile choice in all the different hyperlapse features that comes on DJI drones. This is me dropping the camera down here. Again, let's see how accurate this little drone, this is just always a game with me. Anybody that watches my videos, I like to see how accurate return to home is. I just love that, that augmented reality green line. You can see exactly the path that the drone is going to take on its way down. So I think we're going to be pretty darn close here. It looks to me like, yeah, I think I'm looking at the drone shadow here. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be right on that pad. Well, a little bit off. Let's see if it moves over it. Yeah, it's kind of moving itself. It's saying, hey, yeah, it picked up the camera, so it's in landing mode now. I think it looks to me like it's going to be a little off the pad. Yeah, we've got one leg on the pad, 3 legs off. Okay, we've got one kind of hyperlapse left to do, and that is a Waypoint hyperlapse. So I'm at the park here. This isn't going to be a perfect hyperlapse, so don't think that this is going to be some kind of artistic endeavor, because it's not. The point here is I want to show you the different things that you can do with a Waypoint hyperlapse. There's a lot of different things you can do. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird up over the park, and we're going to set up a Waypoint mission, and then we're going to fly it. Okay, that last introduction you saw was done with the Air 3S. What I realized after I took off and I started doing the Waypoint mission is that I didn't have a screen recorder started. Well, that doesn't do you guys much good if you can't see what I'm doing on the screen. So I've started over again here with the Mini 4 Pro, and we're going to take off, and we're going to do a hyperlapse Waypoint mission with the Mini 4 Pro this time, not the Air 3S. Okay, I'm going to stop recording here, and we're going to click on that little film strip, and I'm going to go down to quick shots there, or not quick shots, excuse me, down to hyperlapse. And the very bottom one you'll see is the little squiggly line, the little looks like a Z. That is the hyperlapse Waypoint mission. So that's where you can set waypoints. Now you see in the bottom middle of the screen it says set waypoint. Click on that down arrow, and you'll see a bunch of boxes. If you click on that plus sign on the one at the far left, that'll set your first waypoint. So we just did that. Now it'll say camera rotation angle is too small, so yeah, you got to move it to another location to set another waypoint. We're going to go out over the pond here, and I'm going to drop the camera as we go so that we see the fountain. I'm going to set another waypoint. Click on that next plus. That's another waypoint. And now let's grab some altitude. Pick the camera back up, grab some altitude, move over the other pond, and we'll set another waypoint right there. So that's another waypoint. And as the drone moves, it should raise the altitude and drop the camera, just like what we're showing right here. So now the other thing you can do, let me get a little closer to this other fountain here, is we can do a little bit of a rotation. So I'm going to set one there, And then we're going to move around. And we're going to set another waypoint. And then we're going to move around some more. Again, I'm going to try and keep that fountain in center of frame. And in fact, let's drop a little bit of altitude here and move a little closer. And then we're going to set another waypoint. So I've got another idea here. Over here is a roundabout that I like to get shots of. So let's move this direction towards the roundabout, set another waypoint. And we're going to grab some altitude because we're going to want to be high above the waypoint. Let's set another waypoint right here. And let me go over the top of the roundabout, and I'm going to drop the camera down as we go so that we are directly over the top of the center. I moved a little bit too far, and I want to be a little bit higher, so I'm going to grab a little bit more altitude, and we're going to set a waypoint. And that's going to be our final waypoint. And now if you click on the 3 dots, it'll tell us that will give us a 14-second waypoint, or 14-second hyperlapse with a 2-second interval. So, on the far left, you can reverse the sequence. In other words, if I wanted it to start here and then end where we started, I could do that. But I want it how we set it up. So I am going to go ahead and click that start button.
Aircraft is flying to the first waypoint.
So you just heard it there. It's going to its first waypoint. And then as soon as it gets there, it will start, it'll start taking pictures. So, and yep, it's almost at its first waypoint here. And you can see it's dropping in altitude to where we started at. In other words, we were higher where I finished that last waypoint. Turning around, and it should start taking pictures now. And it is. So we're just going to let this guy run. And again, as it runs, it will make all of those camera moves that I made and all of those altitude changes and direction changes as it goes. So this should be pretty interesting. Again, like I said earlier, it's not going to exactly be a work of art, but we've shown you how you can set up an interesting waypoint hyperlapse mission. And it's just so cool that DJI gives us all of these options. So in any case, this is going to take about 11 minutes yet, so I'll see you on the other side. Okay, 30 seconds left to go, and just in time we had a car go around the roundabout. Now another one's coming through, so that was exactly what I had hoped for. Just a few pictures left here, and we got some cars going around the roundabout. So yeah, 4 more shots and it's over. 14-second hyperlapse. Okay, so now that the hyperlapse is over, we got a bunch of cars coming through the roundabout, but that's just the way it goes. Okay, I'm going to bring the drone, and it's telling me that it created the video, so I'll show it to you right now. And let me get this drone back here. Okay, so you got to see a hyperlapse waypoint mission there with the Mini 4 Pro. So now normally this is when I would do a conclusion, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to wait until I get this video all created at home and I get to look at it and I get to look at all of these waypoints, and then I can talk about them a little bit, and we'll do our conclusion there. So Yeah, see you in just a few. Okay, I'm back in my office, and let's take a look at these hyperlapses, and I can kind of give you my 2 bits on it. I'm sure everybody will have their own opinion as well. Now, again, this video was mostly just to show you how to do this. So I don't claim that any of these are going to be terribly cinematic or perfect in any way, but let's critique them. So the very first one here was just a static shot. I was kind of surprised at how much the drone actually moved around, and you can see a little movement of the drone in this shot. And then again, that was just with the free feature on the HyperLapse. And, you know, again, I just had the drone sitting here. Now, here I was actually moving the drone with the controller, had the speed set slow. Actually, I like this one a lot better, and I showed it to you twice here. It came out okay. And this one is the circle, and I kind of like this one. This was at the community garden, and yeah, it was kind of cool. We had enough movement there that it was interesting. Now this one was nuts, right? It was I set the speed set way too fast, and there wasn't enough movement. But that's a wider circle, and you can see how to do it. And then this one I liked. Now my critique here is I should have had the camera tilted up more and shown more of the sky. But I think it's really cool that you see the cloud shadows coming over, plus all the movement here. I think looks really good. So again, if I could do this one over, I would have tilted the camera up a little bit. But this is the CourseLock. Now, okay, now we're in the Waypoint version of it. And the Waypoint version is really cool. You can see the way you can change the camera movements, the drone movements, and it'll just fly that mission and do a hyperlapse. So yeah, those are you know, all of them that we went through there. They put a lot of good features in this hyperlapse feature on all the DJI drones. Again, I use the Air 3S and the Mini 4 Pro, but this same feature would be on your Mavic 3, your Mavic 3 Pro, on your Mini 3 Pro. It would, I'm not sure if the Mini 3 Pro has yeah, it does. I believe it does have the Waypoint hyperlapse. So there might be in some of them some features missing, like the Air 2S I know will do a lot of them as well. Maybe even the Air 2, but yeah, just take a look in your menu and see what you can do. In any case, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you gave you some ideas on getting some hyperlapses. You know, really cool ones are sunsets, and you see, especially if you have cloud movement, it tends to look pretty good. So you always have to look for movement. That's when hyperlapses often look the best. You can do them at night as well. I've seen some people do some really cool night ones. I personally have put a really dark ND filter on the drone, and you get a lot of motion blur. You just see a lot of blur in the hyperlapse that looks kind of cool as well. So number of things you can do. Get out your drone, experiment around, and I'm sure you guys have come up with some way better hyperlapses than I did, but at least now you know where to find them in the menu, and you know how to go about doing it. So that's about it. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do appreciate that you took the time to watch a long video like this one. And of course, we absolutely will see you on the next one. Bye now.